Now.
Hi guys, can you hear me? Hello, hello. Can you move the top of the laptop so I can see the chat, please? I must be able to. Now you have a Michael's ad starting over there.
They don't see that. That's just us.
Okay. Okay. Hi guys. Wow, for some reason I'm bright red. We'll skip it. It usually self-corrects, but
I have a
it's
feeling it's the lighting.
wild. Nope. Just orange. Still orange. Still orange.
That's not on your end. That's on your TV. It's fine over here. See?
Okay.
Okay, fixed it.
Alrighty, you guys ready to make some stuff? Yeah, I won't ask how many of you have your kits because I don't think anybody does yet. So, while I've been waiting, I've been working on mine so I could show you some samples. We'll do them together, obviously, too, but I've been... There we go. Now I have real color. Yeah. So today we're going to make coasters using Mod Podge, rice paper, wood rounds, cork, white paint, and it's very simple, but it could be intimidating if you didn't understand what to do. So we're just going to walk through it very quickly together. It is not a complicated process at all, and they turn out quite beautiful. So we're going to set that aside for a minute, and let's see, do you know, Margie, where the baby wipes went? They were here last night. They were right. Oh, you just did. Thank you. Okay. So we got out there. Hi, Diane McIntyre, Alice, Betty McSorley, Betty Gozzle, Patrice, Sadie, Roberta. Hello, hello. Did I catch everybody? Was there anybody that I missed? Let's talk a little bit first, as usual, about what you're going to get in your kit. Your kit will come, depending on which one you choose, your kit will come with a vial of paint. This is what we've been waiting on to put the kits together. Oh, hi Brenda. Hi Thelma. Thank you guys for telling me you're out there. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. So you're going to get a vial of paint. You're going to get a vial of Mod Podge. You're going to get 6. I was going to make the kits in 4s, but the rounds or the imagery actually comes in a set of 6, so we're making a little bit bigger kit. You'll get these unfinished but pre-sanded wood rounds that are 4 inches. You'll get these self-adhesive cork rounds that are 3 3/4 inches, and you'll get 6 each of those. And then you're going to get, depending on which kit you choose, you'll get your imagery. This one is called Pink Christmas, and that's one of the ones I'm demoing today. I'm actually going to demo 2 of them. So it's Pink Christmas. It has a Santa Claus, roses, very feminine, beautiful. Could probably, although a couple of the pieces say Christmas on them, you could probably carry this over to Valentine's Day and you'd be okay. Then we have this one that is, what is this? This is called Magic Winter. I think this is called, yeah, this is called Winter Landscape. And it's got birds and deer and snowy scenes. It's beautiful. And then we have, this one's called Winter Tales. And it's kind of a once upon a time theme, with white poinsettias and fairies and castles and a princess and bird. It's beautiful. Am I getting that too far over for you guys to see? Let me back this up a little bit. I'm sorry if I was getting clear off screen. Let's see if that's better.
Yeah, basically back to your hands.
Huh?
Just pull it all the way back towards you.
Well, I was
All
afraid
the
they
way.
wouldn't be able to see the
All the way.
images.
Keep going all the way.
Pull closer to you so we can see them. Okay, thank you guys. Okay, I can show you the other ones again
There
if
you
you like. Yes, this is Stamperia. And back up a tad more. Okay.
Remember,
Oh,
there's
that was
buffering.
your buffering. Yeah,
Mhm.
so there we go. A little bit more. Of course, the label's covering up the one in the corner anyway. Okay, so this is the Winter Tales. There we go. This is the landscape one again. The snowy scenes, the deer. We have a long buffer today.
Yeah, we do.
No, back where you were. Patrice, you're so full of it. I love you, my friend. And then that pink Christmas again, so you can actually see what it is. You'd be heck to hang pictures with, I know that. We have a long buffer today. Don't change anything, it's fine.
It's probably part of the reason why we couldn't get on right away, too. It bumped it, but...
Can I go as low as the wood rounds? Yeah, sure I can. Okay. Okay. All right. So those are your shops. One more choice. This has a very messy bag on it. I'm going to take this off so you can see under it. This one is called Cosmos. So you have four choices. The pink, the Cosmos, the two different winters. One was the fairy tale sort of one, and the other one is the winter landscapes. And let's just talk about getting started here. Most of them, I advocate that you paint your rounds before you put them on. And I'll tell you why. If you put an image, one of these brighter images, on the wood itself, it looks okay, but you can see the difference that it makes in how bright the image is when you put it on white. You see that difference? It might be a little subtle with the particular image that I chose, but the white tends to brighten up the image. So I advocate that we paint them in most cases first. Now I see you guys saying that Cosmos is one of your favorites. Cosmos is the one exception. You may end up having paint that you don't need for this project with Cosmos, because I made these last night and I put them directly on the wood, and I think with the brown that it looks beautiful. So I think in the case of Cosmos, you can go straight on the wood if you want to. It certainly won't hurt to paint them, but because they do have brown hues in the artwork already, I think it looks pretty good just on the brown. So I thought I'd just do one of each and show you what they look like. Well, I'm not going to do all 4 sets, but I need some for Christmas anyway, so I thought I'll go ahead and do one on the brown and do one on the white so you can see what they look like. All of the kits will include the white paint, but if you don't use it for this, we actually have other projects to do that are similar in nature and fabulous. For example, we can use this same process to make a beautiful clock if you want to. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. In fact, I'll offer that to you. If you want to do that, we can do that. That makes a fabulous gift. Oh, and then when we're done finishing them off, you get this nice finish by putting on the adhesive rounds. So this really is a very nice looking set when you're done. When you finish this up, I advocate that you use your hunky-dory box maker that we used before, if you have it, and make yourself some little gift boxes for these. And they're beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So let's get going and actually make some stuff. Shall we? Let's make things. We're going to start by painting our wood rounds. These wood rounds are really, really nice. Like I said, they are considered unfinished, but they have... Hi, Teddy. Do you want to say hi? Come here. He just ran off. I tried for you. I'm buffering, it looks like. Time for a swig of pop.
You are showing up moving here.
I'm still moving there?
Mm-hmm.
So they might be seeing me. Maybe I just... Can you guys... Am I still moving? Oh, there we go. Was I frozen to you guys? Or was I just frozen on my own screen? Yeah, you could try the gold paint if you wanted. Sure. I do think the white really does tend to brighten up the images, though. Especially with the pinks and the blues. I think you'll see a real difference in using the white. But your choice, as always. Okay. Oh, did I tell you get 2 of these foam brushes, too, in your kit? This one thing I like about this paint is really thick, and it's almost one coat. So that part's nice. It goes on really, really nicely. It's a thick paint. So you don't have to mess around with stuff too much. It goes on and doesn't bleed out. That's a single coat, and it goes on really nicely. Then I like to just take my brush and go around the edge too, because if I'm going to make it white, I don't want that brown edge showing. And it doesn't hurt to come back then and paint the back as well. So I'm going to paint the front and the sides, then let it dry, which only really takes a few minutes, and then come back in and paint the back too, because the cork round doesn't cover the entire back. There's about 1/4 of an inch around. And you can see that these images that I'm using are about 3 3/4 too. Now, depending on what process we're using, like when we're making the clocks and we're doing a bigger image, for those I actually advocate tearing the paper as opposed to cutting. Because what we're doing there is taking a larger piece of paper and bringing it down to the size of the rounds. Since the rounds are actually a little bit smaller, I actually cut them out, because I was going to have that edge anyway. So all I'm doing here now is just getting rid of any ridges that I got on the front from painting the sides. We don't want that little ridge there, so I'm just smoothing out any ridges. Okay, I only had one of those left to paint, so we'll let that sit for a minute. Be sure you have a piece of saran wrap or wax paper or something handy to hold your brushes while you're working. If you get interrupted at all and have to leave, wrap your brushes. You can take them out and wash them, of course, but is the sound off, Mary? Do I have sound, guys? Got it. Sorry. Okay. All right.
I hear jingling. Is that Teddy or Santa?
Okay. Have a piece of wrap or wax paper or something handy to hold your brushes, and probably to put your wet things on as well. And if you have to leave, wrap your brushes in a temporarily, hi Annette, if you have to leave, then put your brushes in, wrap them up in a baby wipe, unless you're stopping for quite a while. Hey Kathy, girly girl, give me your last name, please.
Thank you.
We wanted to make sure we're shipping your stuff. I had more than one Kathy, and I want to make sure we're shipping your stuff to the right place.
As all the Cathys write down their last
your
name.
prizes.
Not receiving enough video to maintain smoothly. You're gonna find some buffering today.
Okay. Kathy girly girl. Simpson. Kathy Simpson. I'm glad I didn't guess. I think I would have guessed the wrong one. Okay. Hi, Patricia. All right. Let's go to our deer.
I have to run downstairs because that was one of the boxes going out.
Oh, we put it in one? Oh.
Everything was pulled.
Okay.
I just finished pulling the rest of it. So
Okay.
I'm going to run down and get it.
Margie's going to run downstairs and make sure your prizes get in your box, Kathy. And with my Mod Podge, I'm going to do my Mod Podge much the same way I did my paint. You can either put it directly on your board, or you can put it on your brush. I'm going to put a fairly generous amount on my board. I'm going to spread it out good because I don't want a lot of ripples in it. And this is going to act both as the glue and the sealer. Because Mod Podge, really what it is kind of a thick glue. So I'm going to brush this out. I'm going to put my image on it while it's still wet. So I'm creating a coat underneath. I'm going to lay my image out. I'm going to hold it firmly in place. And with my first round of brushing on it, I'm going to kind of come out from the middle towards the sides. What I'm doing is pushing out any little air bubbles underneath. Then I want my strokes to all go the same way. So then I'll actually brush stroke it across. And when I do the next coat on this, and all of these will have multiple coats, when I do my next coat, I'm going to brush it the opposite direction. And that's what we have. It's kind of a milky finish. When it's wet, it dries very fast. So you can easily finish a group of these in an evening. In fact, if you have multiple groups you're working on, if you have multiple gifts to do, you can probably finish multiples in an evening. And what I'm going to do, and I'm not sure how much you can see this, I'm going to get it to you without going off the top of the screen. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put one coat on going one way. When I come back, I'm going to come back and go the other way. And what I'm going to end up with is just a very lightly textured finish. Okay? A very lightly textured finish. And I see one here that's got a little bit more ridging in it than I like. So I'm going to give it just another coat. And sometimes you just got to see what it looks like before you decide how many. Oh, that's more than I wanted, but that's okay. Sometimes you just got to see what it looks like before you decide how many coats you're going to put on. Of course, like our UD and other things, the deeper the coat that you put on it, the more it's going to shine. This is glossy stuff that I sent you. They make Mod Podge in satin as well, but I like the glossy finish. And the more water resistant it will be. These will not, however, be dishwasher safe. They'll wipe them off with a damp cloth items. They actually make a dishwasher safe version of this, of Mod Podge. My lesson that I learned from using that is make sure you protect your work surface, because if it dries on your work surface, it doesn't clean off. You guys notice that I get my tables really goopy here, and I just assume I'm coming back in afterwards and I'm going to clean them up with some cleaner, and it's going to be beautiful and no problem whatsoever. Well, the dishwasher safe Mod Podge, it's oblivious to my cleaners as well. So I have splotches all over one of my tables from the Mod Podge version of this. So definitely, if you use the dishwasher safe one, this one here just wipes off with water, but the dishwasher safe one, it's there to stay. Yeah, I don't think the cork would do really well anyway. That's true. Now, I mentioned something to Roberta when we were talking, that because the Mod Podge, you'll have more than you need for a set of 6, and the paint, you'll have more than you need for a set of 6. So if you, in case you want to do more than one of these, I'm waiting for some more supplies to get here, but I'm going to put up some sets of the wood rounds, and then I actually have some squares, and I'll put up the square imagery and the squares together, the white rice paper that has squares. And you can get just the coasters and the cork backgrounds, because you don't need to buy the whole kit over and over again. Especially if you wash your brushes when you're done with them. You'll have brushes, you'll have Mod Podge, and you'll have paint. So you can use that for 2 or 3 sets. I want to show you what I have. See, I did this one right before we went on today. Right before. And it's completely dry and beautiful. And each time I put a coat on, I'm going to go the opposite way with my brush strokes so that I have this nice, softly textured finish when I'm done. And you saw me paint these just a minute ago. They are actually almost dry too. So I told you, it's a really simple process, but if you find that when you're after you put your first coat on, you put your image down in it, then you start painting it over. If you look and you're seeing little ripples under your image, stop, take your tweezers, pick up your image. This rice paper's tough. Pick up your image and set your image back down on top. You can do that, and you can get away with doing that. The rice paper's pretty tough. It didn't tear. I've done it several times and it doesn't tear. It's nice. Okay, I want to show you. I don't have any of the squares here. Somehow I've managed to lose my shop supplies of these, so I'm waiting for the squares and the cork squares to come in. But I can show you another form of coasters that we have in the store. They're a little bit more spendy. These are going to be like, I think they end up being $6.99 for the rounds and the cork pieces for 6 of them. So it's just a little over $1 a piece for your coasters to make them. After considering, when you're excluding the paints and the brushes. But we also have these MDF sets down in the store. And these work out really, really well for decoupage as well. You'll paint your individual pieces, and then you'll glue your stand together. And your base looks like this. You don't have a base for the ones that we're doing, but you'll end up with a base like this. And then you have these MDF squares, which will absolutely need to be painted because they're considerably darker than the wood rounds are. But you can make a nice base. That holds your coasters. This is $12.95 for this one. So it's considerably more, but it's also a more finished, well, not more finished, it's a little fancier gift set. And we'll have the wood rounds, or excuse me, the wood squares and the wood, the cork squares also available for you in $6.99 packs, so if you're interested in those. And then you can just choose the image that you want separately. So I know that when you look at the price of the kit, it might be a little bit surprising for a set to make coasters. I think it ends up, the store price was maybe $14.95, but that included a 2-ounce bottle of each of these, 2 brushes, the images, which are $3 a piece, and then the $6.99 sets of coasters. So it still will be, it'll be a little bit less. It'll be about right at $10 for additional sets. The first one's $14.99, or $14.95, I think, and the second set will be $10. So if you do it that way. if that made any sense at all. House best blue ever on that. What? I'm not sure what you're saying.
Best glue ever on that would be my guess.
I'm not sure what you're saying, Roberta. Try again. Use best blue ever on that. No. Oh, on the stand? On this, Roberta? No, just use regular regular wood glue, or it doesn't have to be wood glue. Elmer's, tacky, our Cosmic Shimmer glue. Use any of those. Do not use Best Glue Ever, because Best Glue Ever turns into a glue dot, remember? And that stickiness, you don't need that for this. You're better off having water-based glue. Okay, I'm going to come back in, put another coat on these. And once I've done that, I think, once I've got a beginning coat on everything, I'm going to turn it over, I think, to Margie, because Margie's going to walk through with you tonight. Oh, I think that will become my supply there. Margie's going to walk through with you tonight. Her Margie's Makes for tonight is on the gnomes from our Kit 12. So I knew you'd be excited about that. So Margie's going to show you what she made with hers. We're not going to walk through step by step all the makings, because she used quite a lot of detail on them, and it would take a long time to go through all the all the die cutting steps and stuff. But she's going to show you what she made, and they're beautiful, and I was excited for you to see those. So we're going to do an extended, little bit longer Margie's Makes tonight, so Margie can show you that. And then we'll come back and finish this up. Getting my second coat on these pieces. And I still have a couple to glue down. Gnomes seem to be everywhere this year. You are right. You are right. Brittany said that too. She said, "What's up with gnomes? Is this like the year of the gnome?" I think it is. I definitely think it is.
And they make you smile, and this is a good year to have them.
That's absolutely true. You know, we alternate our Christmas tree colors. Sometimes we have red and gold, and sometimes I have my metallic and chocolate tree, which is really, really pretty. It sounds odd, but with the white lights and the brown satiny Christmas balls, and then all the metallic colors, coppers and golds and different metallic colors, it's really quite elegant and very, very pretty when we do the metallic tree. But this was a year we needed bright, conspicuous colors. So I opted for red, even though I did red last year. I needed it last year after the house fire. Yeah, last year was a crazy year for us too. But this year, I just felt like we needed light and brightness and prettiness. And I'm already painting over the ones we just painted. You can put 2 coats on them if you want to, but I don't really think they need it. You've been collecting gnomes to hide in my garden. Yeah, we had a house fire right before Christmas last year on the, what was it, about the 5th, Margie? I think the 5th or the 9th was.
Yeah.
I think it was either the 5th or the 9th. I don't remember. I thought I'd never forget, but I'm forgetting. But yes, we had a house fire last year. It wasn't, I mean, it was, no house fire is good, but it wasn't, we caught it really early before it did major damage, and the damage was all isolated to the bathroom. We had a bathroom fan that stopped working and the switch was left on. Of course, you know, who would have known that it was even on because it stopped working. We didn't even know it had stopped working. And it caught fire. And it burned up into the attic. We'd gone to the show, and when we came home, Lauren, well, first of all, when we pulled up in the driveway, the outside lights didn't come on, which was really unusual. Yeah, one that's not cut out. Which was really unusual that the outside lights didn't pop on when we drove up. And so that was strange. And then when we walked in, I flipped the outside light switch and the lights still didn't come on, but some of the lights were on in the living room. And I turned to Bryce and said, something has caused one of the breakers to go out. And about that time, Lauren came in, and she equates everything in her life to food. And she said, it smells like barbecued brisket in here. Anything wood-fired smells like brisket to Lauren. And so we started looking around for the source of the smell. I opened the attic door, the garage door, and there's attic access in there. I was actually mad at our contractor because he hadn't properly finished that off. He was supposed to put a crawl hole cover in there, and he hadn't finished it. And as I opened the garage door, I could see little wisps of smoke coming from the attic. So we called the fire department, and they said, get out. And of course, we went and grabbed all the pets because that's what we do. Lauren said, I have to go downstairs. And I said, there's nothing downstairs you need. We got to go. And she said, I have to go get my insulin. Well, it's pretty hard for you to argue with a kid needing your insulin. She came back up, leaving the insulin and bringing her cat. Which I would have allowed her to go get the cat, but she knew that telling me she needed her insulin would result in Mom being easier to get along with. And we must have been a slow night for fires, or they saw that we had a large total space between the shop and the house, and on the address page somehow, because we had 3 fire trucks and 2 fire chiefs responded. And it was quite a night. That's true. Yep, we got all the pets out. We did get all the pets out of the house. And we would have done that anyway, but...
So when the fire department got here, you just said, yeah, they were just all running around when we got home outside.
No. It clearly, I mean, it's not like the whole house was engulfed, but we sat out in the car outside. We pulled the car back a ways from the house at the instruction of the fire department, and then we watched them bringing all this charred stuff out of our house. And then when they were done, the fire chief asked me if I wanted to see where the fire had been, and of course I did. And they had come in and torn the roof out of the bathroom, and you could see where it had been burning up the trusses in the attic. You could see that there were there was actually char up the trusses. And at the worst place, it was like within 6 to 8 inches of the roof. He said if it had actually hit the plywood in the roof, the whole house would have gone. So we were literally minutes away from probably losing the entire roof. And if you lose the roof, you pretty much lose the house. So we were truly blessed to come in when we did and have the fire kind of retarded a little bit to hold back until we got there and could call for help. So it was a serious fire in the respect that it could have been devastating, but we did not have devastating damage. A lot of the smoke went up into the attic, so what we still had to wash all the linens in the house and all the clothes and all of that. We didn't have to send everything out to be smoke treated and that kind of thing. We were very, very, very blessed and very fortunate. They tore the roof out of my bedroom, or because they needed to make sure the fire hadn't spread, so they knocked a big hole in my bedroom ceiling. So that we had that to contend with, and boy, you think about the things in your life, it's traumatic, but I just don't even remember a lot of it now. It's just like, So, yeah. I called my friend Lisa and said, hey, it was late. It was like 11:30 at night, 11, maybe closer to midnight by the time that the fire department left. And I called my friend Lisa and said, we had a little fire in our house. We can't sleep here tonight. We'd like to come over and stay in your guest room if that's all right. And she said, oh, yeah, that's fine. And then all of a sudden she said, a fire? What do you mean a fire? And I kind of woke her up, Yes, thank goodness for firemen. Thank goodness for firemen. You know what, Lauren and Lauren and Corey, Lauren's best friend, had gone to the movies with us. And Lauren said, wouldn't you just figure it? We got 20-some firefighters here, and the fire happened at night, so I couldn't get a good view of any of them. That was Lauren's take on the situation. She thought it was pathetic that she didn't get a good view of the firemen. A kid's perspective. My insurance company was awesome to work with. Really, really, really good. Safeco, by the way. They're not the cheapest. I will probably never give them up now.
They are a good company.
Because,
They are a good company.
They were right on top of things. I mean, they were here. Well, they came right out and they sent a person right out. We had been doing all the construction on the house, so I still had my contractor on speed dial. In fact, when the firemen were still out there, I sent Dawn a picture of all the fire trucks and stuff. And he was here, Don, our contractor, was here at 9 o'clock the next morning, along with an electrician, getting the electricity restored to the house. And I had a class the next day. I did not cancel. It was out here in the classroom. We didn't have electricity, but in the classroom we have lots of natural light. I did not cancel my class the next day. We still had class, but I told everybody that they needed to use the restroom before they came to class because the water was all shut off. And what's the most weird and, to me, maybe the most tragic part of the tale is that while we were at Lisa's, somebody tried to break in here. Somebody tried to break into the house and the shop, and there are There's crowbar marks where they were trying to pop the door open with crowbars. They didn't get in. That's the good news. I don't know why they didn't get in. They must have been fairly inept thieves, because I would have thought they would have been able to get in, but the people will listen to their scanners and, come check it out and realize no one's home and then try and take advantage of the situation. And so I've heard really, really tragic stories about people's houses going up and losing everything they owned. And
Kathy said that she had one. And
did you have one,
Kathy? It was
Kathy?
very traumatic to watch it go.
Oh, that would have been heartbreaking. As long as all my pets were safe and my family was safe, everything else is just possessions. It could be replaced. But where I work at home, that could be a little scary to lose my business and my house at one time. I think that would be terrifying. And really, it would be something that would kind of really shake your personal confidence. I did end up in the hospital afterwards from all the construction dust. Because me and my allergies, guys, we talk about them all the time, don't we? Because of all the sheetrock dust and smoke and other things. The insurance company offered to put us up in a hotel, but because I do live and work at home, I wanted to be able to work, and I thought I was doing fine, but clearly I was not getting enough oxygen, and that sent my heart into a tither, and I ended up in the hospital not from smoke exposure, but from having my heart go out of whack because I didn't have enough oxygen in my system. Note to self, don't stay in a house full of allergens. When they offer to put you up, do it. Would have been way cheaper than the stay in the hospital was. Whoa. So I had a really weird year last year. That's how come I made so many scarves. I think I mentioned that in the scarf video, that after our little house fire that I saved my sanity by having one of those finger knit scarves going all the time. I think I gave 20 of them away at Christmas time last year because I just needed to have my hands busy every minute. I needed it. I got that a little thick. I'll put some on something else. Okay, I think I am ready to get out of Marchie's way here. Do I have all 6 of these? Yeah, I guess I do. 2, 4, 6, yeah. I need to get out of Margie's way and let Margie take you through Margie's makes. Then we'll come back and add our adhesive to the back and see what else we want to do, if anything. So come on around, Margie, and I will slide this back so you can get in here. Wasn't the party fun, guys? Oh, I got such good feedback from you guys on the party. That was the most fun. I'm telling you. You guys are crazy. I say. I'm the one who was pretending to talk into a speaker. Oh, but it was great fun, wasn't it? Okay. Okay. I'm going to wrap up this brush. Wrap up my paintbrush in case I decide I want to use that again.
Mary has a question about the virtual card exchange.
I haven't done anything with it yet, but Yes, the party was a blast. I have a question about the virtual card exchange. Okay, let me have it. I have heard from just 3 or 4 people. I need for purple light specials. Yeah, we are crazy, Patrice. That is an absolute truth. It's a deadline to email your card and recipe to you. I think we said give it a couple weeks, so you got at least another week or so. Week, 10 days. How's that? What's today? The 3rd? 4th?
I don't know.
What's it say on the computer?
It's the 3rd.
It's the
I
3rd.
don't know.
Let's say the deadline is the 15th. How's that? That should give everybody time. And that will be for your card exchange. That will be for your recipe. And that will be for the ugly stamp exchange. Remember with the ugly stamp exchange, that's not the deadline to mail it. It's the deadline to let me know that it's okay to match you with somebody and give them your email address. I have a few, but I don't have as many as I think we should have. So I also know it's a busy time of year. So I promise not to bug you too much about it. But, if you're interested in participating, you'll be wanting to get those in shortly. Let me give you these two so I don't mix these with mine. Is that okay? Oh, I have more brushes here than I know what to do with. I think I've used brushes that weren't mine. This is a clean one. Okay, I'm coming out around. And you can take over my chair.
Just want to put us back. The camera moves slightly.
What?
Okay, the camera had moved slightly, so I just want to put us back
Okay.
before we. No. Just scooch on over. I'll move this.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll sit here and drink pop while you entertain me.
Pardon my very loud scooting chair.
Those far enough out of your way, you can scooch those up more if you need
that'll be
to.
good. Okie dokie, guys. Hi. How are you? All right. I am breathing slowly but surely after the last several days. Didn't know what I was agreeing to, and I said that I would help her until COVID was done. Woo! I'm not complaining, though, because it means that this is what the shop is for, is to be here, and I'm glad that people have been able to order, but let me tell you, it's a lot of orders. Okay.
So be a little bit more patient than normal, guys, although we're making great headway.
Be patient.
Be patient.
Because I'm not used to pulling orders. And Brittany's like going to town down there today. Okie dokie, let's take a peek here. So I have lots of things are sliding.
That's
Oops,
okay.
I'm sorry.
That'll be
Okay.
fine.
So I'm going to go ahead and start with the things that are a little bit more intricate because I want to show you at least simply how I did it. So then that way you have it for future reference. Okay. So this one is the most technical. And this one is a really fun card to make. We actually have in those in the hot off the press white sleeve ones that were on sale over the party. They have some various different foldable ones and card class 1, 2. Some of those have stencils in them or templates in them. There's also this one that's a stencil that was on the Black Friday and Monday throughout the weekend through Monday sale. This one is called a Bindi Card, and there is a really neat slope to them. It's hard to see because of this little piece right here. I hope I'm holding it up close enough for you guys at this point. Because of my little wonderful oval tag over here, it kind of tricks the eye, but as you can see from the back side, this is the shape of the card itself. And then as you go along, this is the other side of that bend. So it almost has a snow slope effect. And then that is the inside of the card. When you set it upright, I did not have time, imagine that, to, to be able to make my little mark here to fold my pieces in. But normally this will then bend, and that's why it's called Bindi Card. And it will take this piece and fold over here a little bit, like about that taunt. And then the other one slides in as well, right about here. And so it stands up tall and straight, and you can see the different layers.
So, a couple comments here, but I can't read them from here.
Thanks for filling and pulling the orders. And Kathy says that she's always loved the Bindi card. It's fun.
Oh, good.
I like making cards that have different shapes to them. It gives you just that much more goodies to do. This is set up on the template format, so each piece has a little tab that it has on the side, and so I went ahead and I layered up my pieces. When I cut them, I layered them at that point and then lined them up for the inside and the outside, and I tried to make sure that I cut them so that this played against this right through here. So this is the bottom corner of one of the card pieces. I apologize, I don't have those card pieces all in a sheet like normal, but this was one of the corners. I did end up using the gnome embellishment pad, or not embellishment pad, the paper design pad from Paper Boutique. I know that they are gone, but I want to show you just so that you know, because you got the inserts in your card, because you got inserts in your card kit as well as decorative papers. I have all of these things still left over from all the cards and not the inserts, but the designer papers that were included in the Box 12 kit. So as you can see, you definitely will have enough, and I'm just going to do a couple recommendations in a couple places to maybe help give you an idea. One of them is that everybody, for the most part, has some form of a poinsettia type print. I think for the most part, maybe not everyone. If you don't, there is parchment paper downstairs with poinsettias on it from the Hunky Dory Poinsettia kit, and I know that we have quite a few of those, and that would work just as nicely here. So I used basically almost the entire card base. This is what I have left to do this Bindi card. So on here, I made myself 2 diamonds. I used my Hunky Dory diamond shapes from Moonstone Diamonds, Moonstone Dies, that's diamond shaped. So it was just one that was a little bit smaller and one that was a little bit bigger. I used my 'Tis the Season from Creative Expressions.
Okay.
The mini dies ones.
I was going to ask you about that.
And there is one that comes out as a sheet, and bear with me because I cannot remember the name of what company that is. I don't think it's Diversions.
No, it's not.
We'll get you.
Diversions. That's a Hunky
We'll
Dory.
get you a
Isn't that
link.
Hunky Dory?
No, it's not. I'll get you the link. It's sitting at home. I just don't know exactly where it is at the moment.
You can email me and I'll put it in the newsletter.
So, anyways, this gave me the ability to cut out 4 instead of from. I was able to cut out from my from. I just snipped it really quick and put the R at the end, and my O as well. And then Christmas Wishes came off of another die set, and I apologize, I don't have it right at the top of my tongue right now. We'll try to make sure that we get you that list. The poinsettias that we used, or that I used to do all the decorations, is this one. It's a Precious Markle. I believe that there are not many left. But there are tons of poinsettia dies downstairs from lots of different places. You can also just, if you have one of your own already, you can also just take that and add some greenery to the back and do the exact same thing that I did. And this is the one that takes the most time to do. And so I'm going to show you what I did. So, look at my lovely little mess here. I basically took and I ran my poinsettias and my greenery in each of 2 reds and 2 greens. As it's trying to hook together here. So by having each one of those, there like that, you can see all the different colors. And then by going through, and I started with a base, which was my lower base. And then I took and I just basically twisted off little pieces of the light green. You can see right here how I've put pieces of it together. And I just literally pulled it apart like that and put it on.
Makes it look way more dimensional.
And then from there, I then took the inside of my piece and I put it on right there. Took the red off, although you will find that I put some red berries in that I took from this set, are right in there on my leaves. You can, and then there's a little tiny fold in this leaf that allows me to make them a little bit more 3-dimensional. So I literally just took and glued one layer on top of the next, and then went through and only where the flowers are at, and only in a couple other spaces, like this one is tacked down. I even took some of these and added some right up in here. So you can see how it has a lot of different ones. I then took our little gold beaties and I put those in my centers.
Oh, okay.
And so that made a really neat tactile 3D piece to them as well.
The gold beaties Margie's talking about are what were in the pen kits from Thanksgiving, guys. The little tiny glass marbles.
Yep. And then these little tiny poinsettias came in a group that was also a Find It Trading die. It looks like this. And then it has 3 little poinsettia pieces in 3 different shapes right here that I've glued together. And that's what it looks like. So if you want the smaller little pointed pieces through here, it's one really simple little die that gives it a whole bunch of dimension because you've got all these flat spaces. So this is an example of using that die all the way from top to finish, and in a couple of different colors as well. So that is that little guy. He took me the longest, but it is worth it, and I think that it was worth it. Once you get them done, and if you just kind of treat it like a factory line where you just do a whole bunch of them, then it makes it so easy to just clip and trim when you're done where you want to put them. So that's how that one is.
What's the name of that die that you have sitting there?
This one?
Yeah.
This is the Precious Markle from Find It Trading Merry and Bright Christmas.
Okay, can you give me the number too, just so when
Yeah.
I'm going back through the video,
Yeah.
I can just read me the number now.
Oh,
That way I
now.
can
Okay.
actually pull it off.
PM10129.
Okay,
And
thank
like
you.
I said, there's only a couple.
I can get more of those though. The
Oh,
nice
you
thing is
can.
Find
Oh,
It
good.
Trading tends to keep their designs year after year, so
Good.
yeah, I should be able to get more if we sell out of those. Hopefully, unless they've sold out of them.
Okay, so let's move
This
that
is-
one out of the way. This one, I used the Opera Red Craft Perfect mirror cardstock on the very back. I then used the poinsettia background. Again, hopefully you've got some around, but there are ways that we can help you with that if you can't find some. On here is just a couple of our, and if you haven't seen them, they are our Poinsettia Dazzles. They come in green and red and gold. So you get all these different colors and styles. The leaves are all in green, and then you've got the poinsettias in both the red and the gold. There's one last one. And I took and I went through and I put little stars on the tops up here. I used 3 dazzles up here in the corner and then our lower section. And then it looks like just what? See, I never remember the sizes. That looks like an A6, A2. And when you open it up though, you get all of this.
Because it's the hot off the press card, isn't it?
This is a hot off the press.
Yeah, that's going to be a USA 6 then, because that's what size they made most of theirs.
This was the template version.
Okay.
So again, on the back, you just draw your template, you cut it out, take them and put them all together. I used 2 of our poinsettia papers from one of our Christmas books. So if you got the Craftaganza, you will have 6 of these poinsettia pages and put them to some good use. It says, "To a friend like no other." And in the middle here, I used our poinsettia cardstock. And I wanted to make sure that this had some layering to it, so that it could be read from various different directions. So I went ahead and besides it was kind of plain there, I made a little square and I tucked it in the middle, gave it a little bit more 3D, because when it folds flat just like anything else.
I do believe they have a card blank. I think we have a card blank for this one too,
This is called the M fold.
Yeah, the M fold. That's exactly what I was going to say. I believe we have some of those in the card blanks.
So while it might look a little difficult, it really is not. Either the template version or the card folded version. It's just a matter of taking it and going through and attaching the pieces and then cutting your lines. Because this is already folded, if you can kind of see, you can fold it in half and make your cuts and then your folds. So right through there.
I love that card. So cool. I love the way you tied it off with the ribbon too.
Yeah, I did. I tied it off with a ribbon so that you couldn't really see what was there, but otherwise you have a card that's kind of open and not looking so nice. So that's for the ribbon. This is one of the pieces of cardstock. The liners, the detail lining. From the box kit 12. It's kind of like a thinner background paper, I think is what they were calling it. And so I just put that onto a card. I went through and I glued on some little snowflakes and some little hearts from our Craft Perfect confettis throughout it. And then I put my piece of acetate all the way over the top, because we don't normally think about doing the acetate all over. And then a lot of times, what are we doing with those ones that have pictures or ones that have these little points? So this one came from the Twilight Christmas acetate pack. And it's got little fairies with presents in the grass. And I thought, how perfect for him to be skating right along through here. And I did set it up to make it into a shaker card, just this little tiny bit. So you will take and put your double stick foam, put your pieces inside, and you will have a piece that you will have a little shaker card out of this. However, I did run out of time. Don't know why. I got to give Tebby a little bit of a tough time.
I call Margie when she's pulling orders and say, "Margie, do you still love me? You still love me, Margie?"
This little one came from our box kit 12 centerpiece, or our topper sections. This came from that. However, I did use the background paper from the Paper Boutique. You can also do this on a black card and it will look just as stunning. This is part of the background backing thinner papers in your box 12 kit. This is just some of that greenery from one of those two pieces. It's the only two that I used in the entire die set. So this one came from that little corner one that I showed you. That's that one. And I just tore the pieces, glued them on the back behind where I knew I was going to put my tag, and put my 3 poinsettia pieces on top. And this one I actually used the little circles in the dazzles in order to make that one, just because I didn't want it sticking up any further than that, because the beadies, since it gave it more of a 3D effect, the beadies would have stuck out further, and I didn't want to risk that in an envelope. And then I did our little bow tie. It's a three piece one, and it's at a diagonal, and I put it behind the paper before I added the entire card. So I made the card first, and then I glued it all down. And
adorable.
Then our last little ones, I had all of these great little guys left over, but they really didn't have much in the way of, well, what could I do with them? So I decided these would make great little gift tags or gift notelets. So you could actually take each one of these. This one is to be a shaker, and this one is to be a shaker. And these are one of your sets of topper sheets right here. This is all of them. And you can take it and go through and just add your backing paper. This is a corner of your cardstock. This is a corner of your cardstock with your little trees and the little gnome guy on it. So same picture here is on that piece as well. So that's the cardstock, that's the same backing. This is backing paper from the box kit 12, and then I just added my pieces on top, and the same with this one, backing paper, and then my topper on top. So these all fill out, so they end up all being the same size. So you could go through, and if you wanted to, someone that you know that likes gnomes, it would be one of those fun things to be able to just put it all in a little nice pack and give them to somebody so that they can give cards of something that they enjoy, or maybe they know somebody that has gnomes. So it would make a great gift piece in a one of those little boxes like we learned how to make with our tags. And then I still was able to get all of these little guys. These are 4x3s. We have, and I still have enough to make 2 more. I literally was sitting over there making them because I ran out of time at home while we were getting going here today. So each one of these is a 4x3. Hunky Dory sells these in 4x3s with envelopes. And so they're already pre-cut for you. I believe that these will fit, not positive, I would have to check, but you could even put them in one of your pillow boxes and hang them from your tree with your little gift card inside, because guess what size this fits? It fits a gift card. So these were my last little guys. This came from one of the corners. This came from one of the corners. This came from one of the corners. So no toppers in this. This was just a different way to use your corners. This came from the bottom piece of that boop boop of this guy. Just came right along in there. And this piece came from right along in here. So you can go through and let's see, how many cards did you make with the first set? 12. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I promise you, you can make 6 or 7 more of those. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So out of that box card set, we can make over 30 cards, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you still have the stamps and the die and the embossing
in
folder.
the embossing folder, right. And I did not touch those because I thought that it would be fun to maybe see what you guys could do with it. Put it up on Facebook, and so then that way we can see what you guys did with your stamping, embossing, and die cut. So that is all those goodies. So you now have something to do until you get your coasters in the mail this week. And let me get my mess. Do you have any questions before? Yes, the quilling would look really good on those, Mary. Thank you. Any questions before I get up and get out from in front of the camera?
Really nice work, Margie.
Okay. Thank you.
Really, really nice work. I love your use of the bendies and the M-style cards and the little note cards. It's fun.
They are. They're fun.
Neat little
And I will get that.
variations. Okay. And we have a stray confetti. Do you want him back?
No.
Okay. Let's see how our coasters were doing while we were waiting. Oh, yeah. I think everything's about dry. I see a couple I'm going to make some additional coats on, but let's talk about, literally placing the adhesive on the back is absolutely simple. It's peel and stick, center it, stick it down, done. These end up being really cute little sets though. Really, really cute. Make sure when you're doing these that if they're painted white, that we get the white, that the sides of the coasters are white. And that we, hit the sides with just a little bit of decoupage to give them that finished appearance. But you saw I sat here and did most of these tonight while we've been talking, and you can easily get these done. And I just want to show you what this set looks like when we finish it. It's really quite attractive. We have the two sets done. Then I will show you Saturday's class because I finished it last night.
Diane had a question about the Bindi card. Yes,
Oh.
we do sell the template.
Yeah, if we still have them.
We still have a few.
We do still have Bindi templates.
Just a few.
Look and see if they're still on are they in the $1 sale? They might be. I think they are.
Let me see.
We have the templates, and then I believe Margie will check too and see if we have the Bindi cards in.
I don't think we have the cards.
If we still have the card blanks. I don't know if we have those or not. Okay, and here's our finished. I may still do a little bit more to them just because I still have, in some cases, some fairly conspicuous lines. If you still have lines and you want that texture finish, just make some light coats, go both directions until you like the texture on them. But here's our finished pink Christmas ones. Make sure that I'm sitting where you can actually see them. This one says greetings on it with the rose. This one says Christmas with the beautiful stag. We've got Merry Christmas with Santa in his sleigh. We've got the two kind of Victorian girls and the roses. We've got the Christmas banner with the bird and the roses. And we've got For You. So this pink Christmas has a decidedly Victorian feel to it. The pretty rose. And then let's take one final look at Cosmos. I think everything is now layered in. I glued that one to the table.
There
I still need one.
are 3 of the Bindi templates left.
Okay.
And they are still for $1.
So you got a chance to pick that template up for $1, guys.
And
For as long as they last, I can't get any more. When they're gone, they're gone. But there probably are some online templates and stuff out there too, perhaps.
And
in
think
some of the
they're
card.
also in the card, the foldable cards,
Okay.
CDs that we have.
Here's our finished coasters from Cosmos, and I still have stuff left. I could do another set easily. So I've got this one. Love that. Oh my gosh, isn't that pretty? And once you put the cork on the back of them, they are a little bit more substantial too. I mean, it's not just a little disc. They look like coasters. I actually made these for my house because I have browns in my living room. This one says, "Never stop looking up." And kind of the all-seeing eye there. So we've got Cosmos, and you can see it's a nice substantial set. It's inch and a quarter through. You can make some pretty little gift boxes for these, and they will be magnificent. That's it for coasters. You guys have any interest in seeing the clocks? You have any interest in can you look in my office, Margie, and see if one of the clocks is there? I think I gave away most of the ones I made, but there might be one that's just got paper. I can show them sort of what the clock looks like, though. Okay, let's see. And I will be putting up I'll put this one in with the supplies. As soon as the squares get here, I'll put up your choices in squares. Okay. Can you see it? There's one over the door, I think, Margie, if you can get to it, but don't hurt yourself.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Can you get it? Do you need me to lift it down? Oh, you got it.
I'm short, but that's okay. There's that.
This one is not done with the decoupage, but it gives you an idea of the size of the clocks. This is just done with paper and stenciling on a clock base, but it gives you a size of the clock. This one is done in the round. I think I have both round and square clocks yet left. And what we would do if we were doing the clock would be to put down the paint it. We will put down the rice paper on it. We'll actually tear the rice paper to put it on. And in some places, we actually are moving the pattern around on the rice paper. There's a little bit more art involved in doing these than there is in doing the coasters, where we're just kind of cutting out and decoupaging. It's a little bit more art involved in the clocks. But I made, how many of these did I make last year? 4 or 5 of these for Christmas last year.
At least.
Yeah. So I do have those clock sets available in the store. We'll tell you they're a little bit more expensive. What do our clock bases run? They're about 20.
I want to say they were 24.
So you can look that up if you would. Let's talk about Saturday's class. I just finished these this morning. I was going to say last night. It wasn't last night. It was this morning. This is, this will be our 22. Class for Saturday. The clock bases are 22, guys.
And then the stencil is $1.
The what?
There was a stencil. No, that was a chipboard. Sorry.
No,
There's
the stencils are. We'll have to figure out what we're going to do with stencils. We can figure that out. That we can come up with something. So this is the Radiant Roses from the Rose Quartz collection. this time. For those of you who think this looks familiar, it probably does, because this is this same design was released in the Amethyst Dreams collection, but this time they've reprinted in pink and black, and I think it's very striking. This one is the I've also used, on this one, I've used some of the Hunky Dory gemstones to surround it. Last time I used the my brain's kind of going clunk and stopping. I used the jewels, the Dazzles jewels. So we have this one. I also used the new gems tape from Hunky Dory. This is one piece of tape, and it's got all these rhinestones on it. But I also cut these rhinestones into strips, and I used some of the pieces, and actually I used some of my trimmings. I used both the gemstones sheet and the gemstones tape. Now, that may seem like I was getting a little exotic with my card, and I probably did, but we'll use the same embellishments when we do the butterflies. So I didn't think it was too bad. You can hang on to your embellishment sets, and then you can buy it. You'll be able to buy your kit without those rhinestones the second time. So I also used this is the Diamond Sparkle glitter paper from Hunky Dory, the black Diamond Sparkle. So that's number 2. And I used in this kit, I also used the Fuchsia pack from Crafter's Companion. So this is one case where getting the kit makes a lot of sense, because I used papers from different sets, which could make this expensive to do it on your own. Of course, if you have a stash of glitter papers, and if you have mirror board in your stash, you're good to go anyway. This one I used the gemstones top and bottom, and that's number 3. Here's number 4. Birthday wishes. And this time I'm using the black sparkle ribbon. Remember, we talked about if your topper's small, make it bigger. Here we go. And I made it bigger in 2 ways. One, I used my strips of those gems to really highlight my topper. And 2, I offset this from this black and let the black become part of the feature. And finally, number 5, once again using that black sparkle ribbon, which will be included in your kit. So we got 5 cards from that set. This will be Saturday's class. I do not have this one posted yet. I'll get it posted tomorrow, though. So I'll have this up and available for purchase. You will be able to see us do it, and then decide whether or not you want to. Up my cat to sell his yarn. I would never chop up a cat, Patrice. No, never, ever. We do have all those beautiful new yarns in. Oh my gosh. We have some of the most beautiful yarns you've ever seen for that finger knitting project. You might be feeling, oh, I don't know, finger knitting, it just sounds too hard. It's not. It's so easy. It's so easy. So, yeah, I like the way these turned out, Alice. I thought they were really pretty. And it did not feel to me, since I made them the way that I did, it did not feel to me like I was doing round 2 on the same on the same set. We'll have to see if she shipped it yet, Brenda. It could have shipped tonight. If it has not yet shipped, we'll put a flag in it. Can you check on that, Margie? See if Brenda Pinch's order has sent yet. If it hasn't,
Brenda Pinch's?
Yeah.
I sent that out, I think, 2 days
Yeah,
ago.
it may be gone already tonight. Sorry.
Yeah, I can double check.
Okay, we'll check, Brenda. If it hasn't already processed, we'll hold it, but it may have gone out already. Okay. Yeah, we are charging through orders today. I'll tell you, we started the morning with 146 orders in the queue, and when I came upstairs earlier, we were at 69 left to go. So, and that was pretty amazing. So, there you go. All right. Any questions, comments, or pearls of wisdom, guys? Isn't it fun to have Margie show some of her stuff with the Margie's Make segment? Thank Margie for that, because that's just her own stuff she's sharing with you guys because she wants to and because she's pretty swell. Oh, I'm moving the wrong direction. I actually have more room that way. I was trying to get those where you can see them better, and I was moving them the wrong way.
I do the same thing, I think.
So, thank you, Margie, for sharing your Margie's Makes. And I think that's it, guys. How are we doing for time tonight? I think we're
It's
there.
5:30.
5:30. Wow, this is like a record. It wasn't a difficult one. Yes, thank you. If you like what we're doing, you want to see more of it, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you appreciate what we're doing and that it is useful to you. And we really, really appreciate that. It makes me feel good, and it helps our stats on YouTube, helps make sure we get recommended. If you did not purchase during the store sale, I need for you to send, and you haven't purchased before, I need for you to send me your address so that we can send any winnings to you. Don't send it, just send it. Don't post it on here. That's personal information. You don't want any personal information on YouTube. Send me your mailing address at info@SimplySpecialCrafts.com. And then we can get your winnings out to you. I know that there's a few people who won things that didn't purchase that day, which is absolutely fine. We're still going to mail them to you. But I may need your address if you have not purchased from us yet. Okay? I'm going to say good night, Gracie. Thank you all for being there, for being our friends, for being patient with us, and for participating. Always love it. See you Saturday.